When you have multiple retirement accounts, tax strategies become even more critical to your financial well-being. You want to make sure you're not paying unnecessary taxes while you're in retirement, but navigating through all the different rules for each account can be a real challenge. So how do you optimize your taxes with multiple retirement accounts? Stick around because we'll cover exactly how to reduce your tax burden, and I'll show you why gold IRAs can be the best option when it comes to wealth protection and tax benefits. Now, before we dive into specifics, let me just say, if you're serious about protecting your wealth in the next 2 weeks, click the first link in the description to get a free guide that thousands of Americans are using to safeguard their savings with gold IRAs. Whether you have 100K in your IRA or 401K, or even up to 5 million plus in savings, this guide is for you. Let's start with the basics. You have different types of retirement accounts like IRAs, 401Ks, Roth IRAs, and potentially taxable brokerage accounts. Each of these has its own tax advantages and requirements, and depending on how much you have in each, you could face some serious tax liabilities if you don't plan accordingly. First up, required minimum distributions, RMDs. If you're 73 or older, the IRS requires you to start withdrawing money from your traditional IRAs and 401Ks. The catch is, those withdrawals are taxable, which means the more you withdraw, the higher your tax bill. So how do you minimize the tax hit? The first thing to keep in mind is strategic withdrawal planning. If you have multiple accounts, consider taking RMDs from the accounts where you can minimize the impact. If you have both taxable and tax-deferred accounts, start by withdrawing from taxable accounts first to delay triggering RMDs on your tax-deferred accounts as long as possible. But what if you have a mix of traditional and Roth accounts? That's where things get interesting. Roth IRAs are not subject to RMDs, which makes them a powerful tool for long-term wealth growth and tax savings. If you're in a position where you're facing RMDs in your traditional accounts, you might want to consider converting some of your traditional IRA funds into a Roth IRA. This is known as a PATS, Roth conversion. And while you'll pay taxes on the amount converted, it can save you money in the long run by reducing future RMDs and keeping your tax bracket lower. Of course, asset location plays a big role in all of this. What I mean is, you want to place the most tax-efficient investments in your taxable accounts and hold tax-inefficient investments, like bonds, in your tax-deferred accounts. This helps you minimize taxes as much as possible by making sure you're not overexposed to taxes in the wrong accounts. But here's the thing. Tax strategies for retirees with multiple accounts can become complex. That's where a gold IRA comes in. A gold IRA, unlike traditional retirement accounts, is exempt from RMDs until you're 71 too, and it offers a hedge against inflation. Plus, gold's long-term performance can add stability to your retirement portfolio and protect your wealth from market volatility. Gold IRAs are becoming a top choice for many high net worth retirees, especially when you consider the tax benefits and wealth protection they provide. Here's an additional strategy that may not be widely known: tax loss harvesting. If you have a taxable brokerage account in addition to your retirement accounts, tax loss harvesting can help offset some of the gains you've made throughout the year. Essentially, you sell off losing investments to offset taxable gains and lower your overall tax liability. While this strategy doesn't apply to IRAs, it can be a great way to reduce the tax burden in taxable accounts, allowing you to keep more of your gains in the long run. At the end of the day, the goal is to make sure you're paying as little tax as possible while preserving your wealth. If you have multiple retirement accounts, it's all about balancing withdrawals, planning Roth conversions, and using tax-efficient strategies. But nothing beats the power of a gold IRA when it comes to securing your wealth for the future and minimizing taxes in the process. Before we wrap up, remember, if you're serious about protecting your wealth, especially if you have 100K or more in an IRA, 401K, or even $5 in savings, be sure to click that first link in the description. Grab your free gold IRA guide and see why so many retirees are turning to gold IRAs to safeguard their financial future. Thanks for watching, and remember, smart tax strategies can make a huge difference in your retirement years. Take the time to plan today and protect your wealth for tomorrow.